Now that you have sketched out an idea for your Ramiro Britto's artwork, you are ready to go to good paper. Okay, you're going to need a lot of different supplies for this. Each table should have a basket of a variety of different stencils, as well as many coloring sheets to give you inspiration. You are also going to need a piece of watercolor paper. You are going to hold the watercolor paper landscape, and what you're going to do is the first thing you're going to do is take a pencil and you are going to write your name. Of course, Mrs. Ford sits down to do this and doesn't matter. So she's going to write her name clearly on the back and flip it over and get ready to begin. All right, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to create hills or mountains because you are creating a landscape. So you can copy off the sketch that you did in your sketchbook, or this is where you can refine it. You can make it better because it's just a sketch, an idea in your book, so you don't actually have to go with the exact same thing. So I'm creating these mountains, and then I'm going to create my sun. Okay, and my sun is just going to be here. It looks like a mountain now, but I know that this is where my sun is, and this is where my rays of the sun are going to go out. I am going to draw 4 or 5 rays from the sun. 1, and I want you to try to 2, keep them as straight as possible. 3, 4, 5. I do not want you to use a ruler for this. I really want you to just try to draw straight lines as you can. Now you're going to choose your motif. Like the other video, I said you could do stars or hearts. For this, you can do a few more choices. If you would like to do circles, triangles, stars, hexagons, squares, you choose. And you may choose more than one motif for your background. When you choose your motif, you are going to use the motif 3 or 4 times. I suggest going with large shapes for your motif. So I'm going to do a star, and I'm going to outline my star right over here. I'm going to do this very carefully. I'm going to do my motif. So that's 1 star. Maybe I'm going to put other here. And what I want to try to do is I want to try to overlap my motifs, okay, with my rays. So notice that it's overlapping, So I'm going to do 2. I'm going to do another one over here. I'm going to do this one a little bit smaller. I'm going to make it overlap. So now I have 3 motifs. I'm going to add 1 more. I'm going to put this right over here. And I'm going to make this motif go behind this one too. So it's going to overlap even more. So in this case, I'm going to stop it right there. So it looks like it's going behind. Okay, so I have 4 motifs. The motifs are things that stand out. They're going to be a main focal point. From this stage, what you're going to do is you are going to take a king-size Sharpie, and you are going to outline everything that you see right here with the king-size Sharpie. The king-size Sharpie has a flat edge. You want to make sure that you're doing that. You're not working with the tip. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to do this very, very carefully. And you want to outline over all of your pieces. You're going to go even right through your motifs that you have created. Okay, because just like Ramiro Britto, he has really thick lines, just like we discussed in his artwork. So you're going to sit there and you're going to outline over all of the things that you have drawn. And yes, I know the squeaky noise of the Sharpie. Don't press down real dark with it. If this happens to you, then kind of just go over it again to make it nice and clean, because you want this line to be nice and thick and really nice and clean. All right. As I finish this up, then we're going to go to the background. The background is where we're going to start to add our pattern. And so let me finish up that. Okay, now we're done with this king size Sharpie. We can put this away. Now I'm going to start to concentrate on the patterns. Just like in some of these drawings, you see these patterns that are repeated. Notice that the patterns also go to the very edge of the spaces. So you're going to decide what you're going to do in each of the rays, and you are going to draw them. You can use stencils to help you with this. So I would like to do polka dots right here. So I'm going to take the circle stencil. I'm going to use one of the smaller circles, and I'm going to start to trace. I'm going to start right now with one going off of the edge. Then I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to fill this space up like this. They can go behind my motif, the star, and I'm going to fill this with polka dots because this is the pattern. So your patterns have to fill the space up like this. Now I'm going to choose another pattern or design for my next one. Say I just would like lines. I can use this. This is called a straight edge. When you use something that is stiff, okay, that can create really nice lines, you can use a straight edge. Use the tools that you have. Don't just sit there and try to draw circles. You want the circles to look good, so use a stencil. Don't try to sit there and just draw the lines. I want you to use the stencils. Then you're going to create another pattern. Maybe in here we want to do the clouds, and we want to put the clouds and we want them to go over the edge. We want them to overlap and fill the space. Now I'm going to show you what not to do. I do not want you to do this. Now the hearts are a good pattern that you can do, but I do not want you to just do this. What's happening is there's nothing going off of the edge and it's leaving a lot of empty space. To improve this, what I can do is I can make things go off of the edge and I can fill in just a little more. So I'm going to utilize these and do a little more than what you see. Now that looks a lot better. All right, so you're going to continue adding a pattern in each of these spaces. You are going to leave your motifs empty right now. When you're done all of your patterns, you are going to take an ultra fine, which is the very, very skinny one, and you are going to outline all of these patterns with the Sharpie. And that is what we are going to be working on next.